Hello, hi YouTube. I am just really actually wanted to post about um, what it means to be an NF and its relation to movies and music. I mean, there's so much music out there and so many movies, so I'm not gonna try to like list them all, but I want to talk about some of my favorite movies and maybe, and music and maybe other NFs out there. Specifically, INFJs might be able to relate and tell me what they think, or if they have the same kind of situations in movies. As an NF, or I am an INFJ, so as an INFJ, since I really can only speak for myself, I find that movies and music are very emotionally charged. Like if I listen to music, I can get really emotional. I can get really angry, or I can get really happy, or really sad. If I watch movies, certain movies, it's the same way. I don't know why that is. I think it's really special because I know that, for instance, my mother, I'm pretty sure she's an ISFJ. And so she's an SJ, the SJ. Uh, and, she cries in movies. I've seen her cry all the time, but I think her process of emotion is really different than like my own process. I don't know how she processes it because I know she gets really emotional in movies, but I just have a feeling it's really different than kind of maybe what I'm doing when I'm watching a movie and getting emotional. So let's talk about it. So my all-time favorite movie, Braveheart. People always laugh when they say that. I mean, maybe it's because Mel Gibson like fell off the wagon, a while ago or whatever. But I think that movie is brilliant. It has every element I need in a movie. Like in the movie, I was scared, I was happy, I was in love, I was excited, anxious. Like all of the emotions I think are really important are in the movie. It's a fully complete movie and deserved all the Oscars it won. And I know some people watch the movie and they love the fighting or whatever, but I really truly loved the story, and I thought all of that was like so good. And there's a scene in that movie that really, in particular, really like hits me. It is that moment when she knows she's gonna hit Mel Gibson's character, right, William Wallace. He's out fighting on the battlefield, and his wife is, has been captured at this point. They've been married like a day, and she gets, tied up to like the post, and she looks out to the field, like wanting him to be there, and he never shows up. And she knows she's gonna die. I mean, he's not there. He's not. Her knight in shining armor isn't there to save her. That moment, every time I think of that movie, that's the moment I think about, which is really sad, but truly, like, as an NF, I guess I just really feel in that moment, like, depending on someone to be there and having that person not be there, and like, how much you could just, I don't know, I felt her love, and I felt her desperation, and I thought that moment really just was a beautiful moment. And the first time I saw Braveheart was when I was 14, maybe. So I feel like nothing's really changed if I watch it now and I'm 24. Like, it's still a very powerful movie. And very powerful scene. I love that movie. I love Braveheart. And since, as NFs, you think about love a lot, kind of shout out to NF geeks who always talk about love and how love is always kind of like what drives them. It's exactly what it is. Exactly. Like, I'm thinking, like, of all the movies, it's always love that really, like, sets a movie out for me, like, if I like it or not. Second movie I want to talk about is V for Vendetta. Okay, I don't know if that's an INFJ movie, like a movie that INFJs really cling on to. I find that when most movies come around, it's like, I like all the movies no one else likes. Like, and the TV shows. I like TV shows no one else likes. Like, the movies and TV shows I really enjoy get cut. Or the movies no one likes, so it doesn't stay in the theater very long. And it's just a bummer. But I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because as INFJs, or as NFs, we're not a majority in this world. So most of the people I think who run around this world are SJs. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So if you're an NF type, you might really like something, but since the majority isn't really like you, it probably won't last very long, like movies and stuff, or music won't get really popular because, you're just not the majority. But I don't know. I absolutely love V for Vendetta, and I want to talk about the moment in that movie, the sequence when Natalie Portman's character, right, she's like thrown into the cell, and then she finds like the paper, right, wrapped in plastic, and she starts reading it, and the story comes alive in her imagination or whatever. And oh, that line when it first starts, and there's the rain, and then the woman in the background talking is like, my grandma always said God was in the rain, and I just feel so much in that moment, and in the whole sequence after that, her falling in love with another girl when she's little, but that never changing when she gets older, then her parents disowning her, and then she says, our integrity sells for so little, and just everything that she says, everything that's said and written in that in that sequence, like, really touches me. Like, I mean, even now when I watch it, I can watch that entire movie and just like watch that sequence and get the rest of the movie. Like, it really just was so powerful, and it really hit me, and I don't know why. I guess just that, I don't know, I understood her. I understood her completely. And I really liked that moment in that movie. It's a beautiful moment. I could talk for hours about that moment, but I'm not. So, and then lastly, movies-wise, I know there's other movies out there, but these are the moments in movies, and some of my favorite movies that maybe you guys like. The movie, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, the new X-Men movie. Okay. I kind of like the movie. I'm not saying it's like a great movie or anything. I mean, it's entertaining, and I really liked Xavier, the character Xavier in the wheelchair. That dude, well, later on, obviously, oops, I kind of might have just spoiled the movie a little bit. Sorry. But anyway, Xavier's character in that movie, he showed a very NF side to him, which was really beautiful because his contrast was his best friend, right, who ends up turning bad. I'm not really good with names, but, and I don't really know what he is, but you can tell he definitely deals with his demons in an inward fashion. Well, I feel like Xavier deals with his demons on an outward fashion. He expresses them more in an outward way, maybe just more extroverted, and maybe another dude is like introverted, like kind of evil. Like, he has a very dark side, but he doesn't know how to balance that. And I really liked how in the new X-Men, you really feel for the guy. I don't know, maybe because I'm an infj, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I could see how he's good. Like, he really wants to do good, but then at the same time, it's like he really wants revenge. And how do you deal with that? Like, as an INFJ, you have a dark side. Everyone does. And I really liked that he dealt with that in that movie. And there's this moment in that movie, which is my favorite moment in a movie that I've had in a long time, because I love movies. And the scene where Xavier and he gets the name Magneto later, right? But Magneto, okay, both those two, they're outside. This is when they were training, like they were training everybody, and Xavier's trying to bring out a side of Magneto to like really bring all his power into play, right? Because Xavier realizes that there's a lot of power inside him, but he hasn't really reached his full potential. So, being the NF that he is, which you can dispute me if I'm wrong, if he's not an NF, well, I mean, I'd argue that he is, but he sees the potential, right? He sees someone who can do great good and also great bad. And that moment in that movie, when right after the sequences, right, everyone's training, everyone's doing it, and then they have this moment together. And Xavier pretty much tells Magneto, I want you to move the satellite towards you, or towards us. And Magneto, like, tries, and he can't do it. And then Xavier's, like, reads his mind and brings up images of his mother and probably the way he felt in that moment, which was probably everything from love to acceptance to, comfort and security. And because Magneto this entire time has always been charged by rage and anger and revenge, to tap into the other side of him, which is the good side, created a balance within him, which was able to bring out all of his power, right? Okay, I know, this is super nerdy, but I have to say this. Anyway, so I think that moment is beautiful, and if you're an NF, maybe you had the same experience. You know, the whole movie's not really that great, but this part of the movie was, you could understand, you just grasped it. And it was so beautiful that these two friends had this connection, and it was like so deep. It was like Xavier knew exactly what Magneto needed to reach his full potential. Magneto always wanted to tap into that part of him, the part of him that has love and all that, but never could because he never let himself feel that way. So he almost let his guard down. He let himself be vulnerable with his best friend, and in that moment he was able to gain so much power. And then, like, you know, Magneto's crying and Xavier's crying, and there's just this sweet, sweet moment in that movie. And I love it. I love it. I can't get over it. So that's a really great scene in the movie. And I have to go quick because I don't have much time left. TV show wise, I mean, I could talk about TV shows. I mean, I have my favorites, but nothing really special about them. Like, I really like True Blood, and I want to say in Medium, there's one episode, well, there's two episodes. I really like the love episode where they talk about, like, fate. I don't know what the title is. It has my favorite song by the Dixie Chicks. I'm not really sure how it goes. But anyway, scratch that. Okay, so, but when she says in Medium, the main character, right, she says, after, like, something traumatic happens in the world, like, say for the World Trade Centers, right, most people are really affected by that, and they kind of just move on. But as NFs, you feel so much. As INFJ, you feel so much that it actually affects you a lot. Like, my biggest thing is, like, Requiem for a Dream. If you've ever seen it, I think it's a very powerful movie. I would say also American History X and Kids, you know, three very powerful, really great movies, really disturbing movies. And they affected me. Like, everyone else walked out of the theater like, oh, that was a good movie. That, you know, that was really good. And I'm, like, traumatized. Like, can't sleep. You know, I'm depressed all day. Oh, my gosh. Like, oh, in the movie, oh, saddest movie ever. Like, I was crying, and I was miserable all day. So it's kind of unfortunate, you know, being an INFJ. But I do love that I can feel so much. But, you know, I'm thinking a lot of people go and watch movies, and they just don't really care about anything that's going on with the story or anything. Like, maybe it had hot actors and really good action, like Transformers, which I liked. But I mean, I feel like as an INFJ, I'm really able to tap into these certain scenes in movies that, I mean, are just beautiful and so well done. So that's movies. I feel like I should do my own post on music, so I'm gonna do music as another post. Okay, all right. I hope you know, enjoyed my rambling. And seriously, if there's any movies out there that you really enjoy, or if you can relate to me with certain scenes in, like, the movies I've talked about, I really want to hear them, because I want to know if other people feel this way. And lastly, I'm an INFJ, and I wonder, with other INFJs, when you watch a movie with other people, do you laugh before everybody else? Like, 5 seconds before, do you already get the punchline? And you're already laughing, and then it actually happens, like the funny sequence, and then everybody else starts laughing, and you're like, I got that joke way earlier than anybody else. It happens all the time. Like, I'm watching a movie, and I'm like, I'm starting to laugh. I don't know why, but maybe I just know what's about to happen, and then, like, it happens, everybody else starts laughing. Just wondering if anyone else feels that way. Okay, this is me. I'm done. Post, comment, whatever. I'd love to hear what you guys have to think. Okay, goodbye.